Hi, in this video, I want you to know that I'm gonna try to lay out all the principles I know to generate leads for B2B businesses, and this is based on my experience. And most likely, the video that this is made for is for my team so that they can scale the process and do the process by themselves because they know these principles work because, of course, it's my money that's on stake, right? Uh, Second thing, I'm not gonna discuss how to make things, how to do things, how to set up an email cadence, how to set up the whole cadence, what to write, templates and stuff like that, because I think you can Google all of that information. How to information you can Google, but the principles are more that uh, you need to trust someone to know, okay, these principles work, right? The second thing is this is enough information that you can start off and go full force into building the whole agency and start increasing the team, right? So there are four things. Number one is channel and cadence. So some channels work better with some markets. So for example, I have seen LinkedIn works better when you're going to the market of angel investors to raise funds. Calling might work with a market who are not very digitally savvy, right? And who direct mail, that's physical letters, might work for a market that get too much outreach. That means, let's say they are a big enterprise in US, so they're getting email, LinkedIn messages and call, but direct mail might stand out for them, right? So some messages work for some channels. So immediately when you're working for a client, what you will do is try all three channels. And once you do that, you will see if one channel works, and the moment you find that one channel works, don't stop the other ones, uh, but scale that channel and give value to that thing. Second is cadence. Cadence is, don't just send one message. One message sometimes work, yes, but the replies that double is in a chain. So don't send one message, send seven, one every week, or there are other techniques to it. So let's say there's a trick where you send one message on day one, then day two, then third day you skip, then you send a message, then you skip 2 days, then you send a message, then you skip 3 days. Now these are all tricks. I think people will catch up to them, so you should know the tricks as well. But cadence, and have a multi-chain cadence, and try to find a software that improves your workflow. So uh, you know, you're not doing a lot of data entry. It's costly. Google Sheets is free, but still, uh, try to create enough value so that enough leads so that that is not a problem. Second thing, offering matters. And so a client will come up with an offering. Um, Usually, what happens is, for example, in coronavirus, immediately the value of sanitizers went through the roof, right? So basically, the offering changes. It depends on the market, what's happening in the market, right? But you can pick different unique propositions of the same offering. So one offering can have different value to different people. So you can test that thing out. Third is messaging. Messaging, well, I want you to know that messaging is the more critical thing, right? A right message can make or break the campaign, right? The only way to figure out messaging is, well, first get a person who maybe have done before and have some track record, but usually most people won't have, and every person is just guessing. No one knows the real thing. It's just testing. It's just A/B testing. So rather than believing someone else, do the A/B testing yourself. Have a structure in place that you're making sure you're testing almost each and everything. Uh, Last, scaling and debugging. See, what will happen is once you figure something out, then double, triple, scale that thing. And there are two ways to scale I'm going to show you. It's automation or delegation. So either multiply the people or multiply the technology somehow. Usually when you multiply the technology, automatically, barriers happen. So in LinkedIn, they will kind of limit your account, and you need to know when they start limiting your account. Uh, Now don't worry. This does not mean that you cannot do anything else. It's a very small thing. Even if one of your account gets banned, build another one. but yeah, don't move slow. Second thing, your emails will get marked as spam. Don't worry. Figure out a way so next time the emails last longer, right? So that is automation. And then there's people, like certain things you can automate, but when you're doing too much personalization in today, there's still not much personalization you can do in email that is available to even small businesses or openly available. Now, in that case, you need humans to personalize, right? In that case, you need multiple humans. So then you start thinking of creating a model. Okay, we get approval from client. Okay, I think one person can generate, I don't know, 10 leads. So can we get 10 people? Is it worth their budget? At what time it becomes worth their budget? I'm gonna dig deep into this thing. Email. There are few things. I think this thing will work even later also. Keep the email under 5 lines. Well, ideally even under 100 words. I think this will always stay um, for a long time. And also check the email on your phone, right? Uh, if you have to scroll down, there's a problem in the email. But sometimes you have to break your own rules, right? These are just guidelines. These are not rules. Plain text. I don't need to tell you that, but yes, know the tricks of the time. So right now, what's happening in subject line, you should only put one word. So let's say uh, if I'm reaching out to someone, I'm gonna only write the word leads in there, or a word like BizAmps, my company name, in there. So this is a trick. These days, what's going on is rather than saying hi Akshat, it's going hey Akshat, and that has more reply rates, right? So these things you will understand if you Google around, but these things does not matter too much. They impact, but they impact 10-20%. 10-20% adds up, but if your initial message is 0%, right, next 10-20% does not come. Third, don't be misleading. People in the subject line, they will reply forward or right, reply re. People are smart, right? Don't mislead them. Like reputation is too valuable. Second, LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, what happens is that when you're sending a message, the screen is very small. So you should not try not to go each paragraph more than 2 lines. It's very short. Even keep it very smaller. You are almost in the area of tweeting. That's how less words you need. Second is 2 paragraphs. Aim for having not more than 2 or 3 paragraphs, because if there's too much blurb text, people are gonna skip through it. Third, write for mobile and understand user experience. Now, when you send someone an email, because LinkedIn, don't get me started, but LinkedIn, when you send an email, the window of that email is very big. The window of a free message is very small. So understand the user experience of different products or features inside a platform. Well, LinkedIn also has a CV. LinkedIn has more context. It has your image. There's a lot more uh, psychology you can play with the name. I was reading somewhere Hispanic names work better than other races. Third, know your limits. You know, LinkedIn has value because you can uh, LinkedIn has a lot more information. People go up on LinkedIn to see information. So if you're fetching their information, they don't like it, and stuff like that. If you're spamming the people and people are not having a good user experience, there's a problem. But LinkedIn is made for sales, right? They call it Sales Navigator. So yeah, calling. Uh, First of all, don't be afraid of calling. I was. Second, when someone is doing calling, listen to the recordings. Third, try different hooks. Try, what should you say to them that they can agree on. Don't be manipulative, but see which thing they are more resonating with, and it's just a process of A/B testing. Or maybe you invite them to a free executive briefing or a free audit that we will do. See different hooks. Troubleshoot, right? Calling will have its own problem. Troubleshoot. These three channels, when done combined. So let's say day one you're sending email, day two you're doing LinkedIn, day two you're also doing calling, right? If LinkedIn is not replied to, these three things, if you add and do it to a prospect for over 3 months or even 6 months, you will get a response. Be persistent. Don't be rude. Don't be manipulative. Well, okay, here's the thing. It has happened with me that I changed the headline of something and the results went from negative to positive. The whole campaign changed. So messages have a very critical effect. That's what people judge you on. Like when you're sending someone's email, there is nothing else other than the content, the message, right? A/B test the message, work on it. That's the only thing you have. Now, once you figure all these things out, no, you can do two things. You can either, how can you, once something is working for you, how can you increase it? Or how can you multiply it? The two ways, automate and duplicate. Automate is using software and making the work process easier rather than using, let's say, Google Sheet. You can use a tool that, makes your job faster. 10% gain here, 10% gain here, 10% here can compound, especially over days. Then is duplicate, get more people, right? When you cannot, to a level when you cannot automate, get more people. Okay, now there's a few roadblocks, right? Number one roadblock is there is a learning curve, right? When we started, we only started with one channel, email. Now, I think we stick with email for 6 months. Then we added LinkedIn on top of it. Calling came like after 2 years, right? But the thing over here is from day one, it's not difficult. Hire a caller. They're not expensive in India, especially. It's like sometimes 15 to 20,000 rupees a full-time person who will call for you. Calling has good results, right? Try all the channels, all the three channels in the cadence, and there's a learning curve. So that's also advantage for you. The faster you learn, you leave some percentage of people behind, but also some people are ahead. So catch up to them. Second, it's a science. It's not an art. If you A/B test enough, if you whatever problems you are having, you're just problem solving and debugging so that makes sure that thing is not coming up again. You will figure it out. There is nothing not to figure out. There's way too much information on it. There's no secrets. And last but not least, when something is working, multiply. Uh, then, okay, now you have watched this. You want to go in depth. Well, even if know a lot about this thing, go watch my video on YouTube. That's for 43 minutes. That's regarding, the title is Automate B2B Lead Generation. And it's a workshop recording. And second thing, remember this. Some things, if you are procrastinating on something you don't want to do, and you should do, you probably don't want to do it. Try to get someone else who is more inclined to do it. I hate calling, but I know people who love calling. Right? I never thought someone would love calling, but some people just do. They're extroverts. They do love calling. That being said, figure this is a mentality shift that can serve long time in life. Ask for help, exchange value, do something that the other person don't want to do, and give them person something that you don't want to do. And sometimes, mostly, it's money. To be very honest. Yeah, that's basically it. Scale. Go do it. You know everything. The only way to find out is by doing it. And especially if you are working with me, um, there will be, of course, quality checks done, and I might be guiding you. In that case, don't worry, just scale fast. Do all three things, set up all three things, move things along. And once you have set up everything and things are going out, be ready with the A/B test, right? Be proactive. You will figure this thing out. Okay, cool. All the best. I need you to scale. Bye bye.